Happy Friday, Monarch students. This is Ms. Kurganin, and I am coming in early today so that I could record a video on how to put together your assessment today. This is the end of Unit 1, and in our World Geography class, we would like to assess your content knowledge. What have you learned in the last few weeks about physical geography, the latitude, the landforms, the climate, and climate change, and how that data affects your UN country. To demonstrate your knowledge, you are going to be recording yourself today using the icon that's over here in Schoology. If that's not working and your microphone isn't working, then you will have to record yourself with your phone and send us that file. Why do Mr. DiCarlo and I need your recording? It's because in this online environment, it's so easy to just cut and paste from the internet, and we are assessing your knowledge. How are you going to be able to explain your country and its physical geography? We'll be able to listen and hear your 2 to 4 minute recording and get a sense of how much of this stuck. And of course, we would like you to prepare some notes, and you can read off notes for this recording. And I'm going to model today how you would go about it. So the first thing that you need to talk about is latitude. So I have chosen to explain Colorado because it's not a UN country, so it's not like you could copy me. But I'm going to talk about Colorado. And if I was talking about Colorado's latitude to begin, I find it interesting that 40 degrees actually comes directly through Colorado. That 40 degrees latitude is actually what the baseline street is in Boulder. And it's called baseline because at the very end of baseline is the Colorado National Institute of Commerce, or I believe it's Commerce. And no, it's NCAR, sorry, NCAR. And, it's the NOAA. It's the National Oceanic Atmospheric Association. Okay, I knew it was something super federal. And they named it baseline because their offices sit right on the end of that. So yeah, sorry, I tripped over that. What else is interesting about latitude? We are in the temperate zone, which is super lucky for the United States to be in the temperate zone. It's not too hot like the tropics, not too cold like the Arctic. So we're in a really good place for food production. So if I go back to my directions, I had to talk about latitude. I had to provide 2 examples about latitude and how that affects climate and culture. So how does it affect our climate and culture? Well, what's kind of cool about being in the temperate zone is we have seasons. We have the aspen right now kind of turning 2 colors, and that's super cool. And then another thing that we have is we've got skiing. Where did I put the skiing picture? So we have snow in the wintertime, and then that allows for skiing at the ski resorts. So Colorado's known for that. All right, let's go back to the directions to see what next I have to do. I have to talk about landforms, and I have to provide 2 examples of how geographic features influence my UN country. So in Colorado, you'll notice that we have a lot of Rocky Mountains. We've got a lot of mountains here, but we also have the plains. And how that influences our state is the Rocky Mountains provide a lot of resources, including water. And then the plains provide a lot of agriculture. So we have a lot of farms going on here. And I have some pictures of some cool landforms. Let me see where I had them. Oh, Longs Peak, because we can see that 14er from Boulder County. So I put that. And then I also have the Colorado River, which I think is interesting because it's not only named after Colorado, but it's the river that continues on into Arizona and helps carve out the Grand Canyon. So that's super cool for our state. While you're doing this recording, do you need to show pictures? No, but I'm thinking that in the latitude section of your recording, this is like where you're kind of looking at the map to see where your country is, and we have that map quiz for that. For landforms, you're going to probably want to look at your map so that you can talk right from your physical map that you made to talk about your geographic features. Next is climate. Oops, sorry. So climate is coming from the climate landform trip that you did. And you're going to talk about 2 different cities and how that affects your UN country. So when I look at Denver's climograph, oops, sorry, I don't want to go to orbits. I notice that we get a change in temperature. So we have hot days in the summer months. We have cold in the winter months. So we have this change of seasons. And we get a lot of precipitation, but a lot of this comes as snow. So because of our elevation, while I'm talking about climate, I need to talk about 2 different climate factors. And climate factors include latitude, elevation, how near you are to landforms, water features, or ocean currents. So Colorado is definitely inland. We're not near an ocean, so we're not going to be affected by ocean currents. We are affected with mountain ranges, and so the orographic effect means that we often do not get the moisture that's coming in, that if in the winter, the moisture will drop in the mountains as snow, but won't come out here on the plains. It's actually kind of nice and sunny on the plains. So I was thinking that, you know, what I really love about Colorado is weather will come in and then it'll kind of take off and leaves us nice and sunny. So we can still walk around on Pearl Street in the fall and spring. And, you know, I knew somebody in college that wore flip-flops like every day, even in a little bit of snow. So let me go back to my directions and see, did I talk about 2 different cities? No, I didn't. I have to talk about 1 more city. So I'm going to talk about Los Angeles. It's not near Colorado, but I think it's interesting that it's not getting a lot of rain, and increasingly it's drier and drier because the weather has not been dropping on the California coast, and it's making it super dry and brittle, which is why I'd wanted us to read that article about the California wildfires yesterday, that you can even see that on the coast it's not getting a lot of water, and then increasingly these temperatures are getting higher. How would that affect Colorado? Well, I think increasingly we're not going to get as much snow as we are wanting. And we really rely on snow for our tourism. And so if we don't get enough snow, then we're going to lose some money. And so I guess that leads me to climate change. We're going to analyze 2 ways that climate change is going to impact my country. And so 2 ways that it's going to impact, and I actually just did a web search of this. I typed in how, where did I find it? How is climate change, I gotta find, how is climate change going to affect, where did I put it? 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 I'm looking in every single, I'm going to have to just type it for you. How is climate change going to affect Colorado? I need to talk about 2 ways that it's going to affect. I think I typed in climate change problems in Colorado. There we go. So in the next decade, we're going to have trouble with agriculture. Remember how I showed you that picture of the plains? We're going to have trouble with that. We're going to have trouble with wildfires, which is exactly what we're seeing right now. And that is because there's too much carbon in the atmosphere. We've increased the carbon and it's making it warmer on the earth. So, Geo students, that is kind of a long-winded example of how to do your recording. Notice that I took a lot longer because I was showing you pictures and kind of referencing where you can get this information. We're expecting your recordings to be much shorter, but if you end up going over 4 minutes, that's okay. And while you are preparing your notes today for this, your teachers are available for questions. Otherwise, Mr. DiCarlo and I, we're going to be grading fiends trying to get your maps and your climate landform trips graded so that we can wrap up this unit and start culture. So thanks for listening and good luck with this.